For today's recipe, I'm going to walk you through how to make a French classic called Trout Almondine, which has pan-roasted butterflied trout, buttery peppered green beans, and a brown butter pan dressing that has toasted almonds, fresh lemon, and chopped parsley. This is a very special pescatarian's delight, to say the least. In addition, throughout this week, I'm going to show you 2 other recipes using fresh rainbow trout from a regenerative trout hatchery in Virginia that is something truly unique and deserves all the recognition and buzz it can get. Let me introduce to you Smokin' Chimneys Trout Farm, and for the record, this is not sponsored.
My name's Ty Walker. I'm with Smokin' Chimneys. We're here in Newcastle, Virginia, where we have our trout hatchery. We also do pastured pork. My wife has a raw milk herd share. We've really focused on the trout here in the past probably 2 years. It was really a vision of ours when we first came here to really get this 1930s trout hatchery back up and running. I found this old book that was written in the 1930s about raising trout. And it was funny because I'm reading this book and everything the guy's talking about is making sense. He was raising fish how we're raising fish now, almost 100 years later. It's really interesting that there's no pumps on the property. It's all gravity fed. People have said when they've eaten the trout, they felt like it tasted like clean water. You know, they first hear about farmed fish and it really kind of puts them off, where, you know, if you come to our facility, you know, the trout are eating bugs. There's a 1,000-gallon-a-minute spring that is coming out of the rocks that's feeding all of our raceways and ponds. I mean, the water's 54 degrees year-round. It's one of those things like taste and see, you know, like once you taste our product, I mean, we've had the best chefs in the area just rave about our products. We've been received very well by the restaurants we've sold to, by individuals, farmers markets, distributors. We've really worked hard to have an amazing product. So our name is Smokin' Chimneys, and there's 3 words that go with that, is farm, food, and prayer. We really believe and know that all those things are totally connected. That's what Smokin' Chimneys is all about.
Make sure to check the link in my description for more info on them, and it's time to dive into the recipe. Okay, so first up on the agenda is to butterfly the rainbow trout, and you want to be using something that is around 12 to 14 inches for this dish. Once it's wiped down, cut along the spine from the belly side to the tail and repeat on both sides of the rib cage. Cut the backbone out with a pair of shears, remove the rib bones down to the belly, and pin bone the remainder of the bones within the fillet. To prep out the green beans, get a pan or pot filled with water to a boil and season it with salt. Blanch the green beans until tender, but without browning them. They should have bite but no crunch. Strain the water off and quickly submerge the cooked beans in an ice bath. Now back to the trout. Get a large sauté pan on medium to high heat with a good splash of cooking oil and a little knob of butter. Season the flesh side of the trout with salt and white pepper if you have it on hand. Place it in the hot pan skin side down. Give it a shake to make sure it's not sticking. Then it goes in an oven that's at 450 degrees Fahrenheit for 3 to 4 minutes. While the trout is cooking, we're going to glaze the green beans in a small pan on medium to high heat with a little bit of water, butter, salt, and black pepper. Reduce this until the water and butter form a glaze that coats the green beans. Once that's done, you're going to remove the trout from the oven and onto a hot stove. Add in a few knobs of butter and toast the sliced almonds in the sizzling butter just until they slightly turn gold. Add in fresh chopped parsley along with a squeeze of a lemon, and you're good to plate. Now to plate this all up, put the trout down first, then you're going to arrange the glazed green beans in a row right down the middle and pour some of the butter glaze right over the top. Follow that up with a few good spoonfuls of the brown butter almond pan sauce, and this dish is ready to go. This recipe can be a bit taxing, but absolutely worth every bit of effort you put into it, especially when you have trout as fresh as this. The glazed green beans and buttery almonds could easily be a side dish of their own and work naturally with the trout. I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and if you did, like, subscribe, and drop a comment. And just as a reminder, there's going to be a link in my ID box to check out Smokin' Chimney's trout farm for yourself, and I'll see you guys soon with another delicious trout recipe. Later, folks.